This Christmas morning, we're cooking Christmas lunch or dinner, or whatever you want to call it. And we're cooking on a wood-burning cook stove. There's fire in it, as you can see there. Another piece of wood in there too. I'm using almond wood in this, by the way. It's a hardwood. The potatoes are boiling here, if you can see them. Looks like they're just about ready to mash. Yep, they're done. We'll take them in there. We'll set that aside. Get down here a little bit further down. Right about there, maybe. We have a ham in the oven there. You can see that ham. And up here we have cooked. See if you can see that. This is apples with cherries in it for like a apple pie filling. Apple cherry pie filling, except we're not going to have the pie filling. We're not going to have the pie crust, just the filling. Put that back up in here at about 165 degrees in that warming oven. Here's our pot here, little teapot. So I'll let you look at that thing go for a little while. By the way, the hotter the fire you want, the smaller wood you put in it. There's very small wood in it, or split wood up, split side. And you have your hotter fire. That's almost all coal there. And it is boiling. I'm going to bring in some corn in a skillet, and we'll fry some corn also. So I'll take this in the house here, this, and also this is real fine wood here, chips and everything. Where I split the wood right there with wood split, I always keep this split wood because it starts a fire pretty quickly, and it also makes a hot fire. We'll put some of these little chips in there, and it'll heat up pretty good. Put the oven. I can smell the ham. You can't smell it there, but I can smell the ham. The pineapple. I couldn't find any pineapple rings, so I had to put pineapple chunks and cherries on it. Anyway, there it goes. I've got the fire diverted to go around the oven like that. It goes around the oven, over the top, down underneath, and then back. The only part of that oven that's has fire in it is the front door. And we also have a damper in the back that puts more fire in or heat in the stove when you shut the damper down. You use the damper on the very first piece of pipe, the very first joint of pipe. That's where you put your damper in the back. Hope I'm helping you on this. Again, here is a firebox. Now, as you can see, you can't put wood in that firebox. It's got a door on it, and then it also has a firebox liner in it, which is cast iron. It keeps it from burning the stove up. This stove was damaged in shipping from Wisconsin. It came from Wisconsin, or Michigan, that is, and it went to Wisconsin and then Minnesota. But I had some good friends of mine package the stove up. I had it picked up back in Michigan, And it was made in Kalamazoo, Michigan also. I'm going to put this up here just a little bit so you can see the top of the stove and that, and I'll be back with some other things. Take these potatoes up in there and mash them, put butter and slice of them. Here I come with some a skillet with butter in it. You can see that all right. This is going to be fried corn. This is the corn that has some ground pepper, fresh ground pepper in it, some chopped onions, and we will fry this. Now, I'm using a Teflon skillet on this thing, but the original cast iron skillets, many of them had a little ring around the end in them. They fit right down in these right down where the caps go there. We'll put this up there, and when it gets hot, we'll dump the stuff in it. Open it up a little bit here, start flowing a little better. We have an adjustment down here on the bottom where the intake is there. And let me see if I can turn this down just a little bit further. There, where you can see the intake on the side of the stove. We'll get the fire blazing a little better. It's already going. Maybe you can hear it. And butter is frying. In there just a little bit. Fire going around that oven. Keep the oven up a little bit too. A little higher. And now we're going to dump the corn in there. When you use paper plates and stuff like that, that makes a good fire starter also. This little fan here distributes the heat from the stove. I can hear that fire blazing in there now. Put this over there to whistle a little bit. Now we got to go work on the mashed potatoes, which is in the other kitchen. This is a wood burning cook stove kitchen with the cabinets and things over here, spices behind me, and some of the things I use on the stove. Let this go here. It looks like it's going to be cooking here pretty soon. Well, the kernel of corn fell off. That's a wind-up clock over there too. mash the potatoes now. See over here, I think you can. I brought a little bit of milk. Potato masher. Got much butter on there. A little salt. Mash these potatoes up. I like mashed potatoes. They're a little bit chunky. Some people like them really creamy. But when they're chunky, you know they're real potatoes. We grow a lot of potatoes here in Fish Lake Valley. Most of it's a tasteful selection of little potatoes. We have carrots, and most of them are Gold House or Grimway. Now that's getting a little bit smoother there. Put just a little bit of milk in there. And we're going to put some pepper in there. I always like fresh ground pepper, not pepper out of a carton. I like this white pepper. And the corn is frying nicely over there. There. A bit more. Now that's all right. These here corn frying, so it gets caramelized a little bit. You can see the onion chips in there. Marilyn really likes fried corn. Taste. Just about perfect. I'm going to get the lid for that, and I'll put that up in the warm ovens to keep it warm. Well, the corn aroma is going through the house. I'm using some Himalayan salt here. Regular processed salt has a lot of bleach and other things. It's not good for you. Right there. Now I'm going to put a little of this Tabasco sauce in the corn. Just a little dash of it. And in the sweet, or in the potatoes also. Gives a little extra flavor there. A little bit of this Himalayan salt. A lot of good minerals in it for you. I think I've got enough of everything else in there. I can make some ham gravy off of the drippings off of the gravy or off of the ham. That's right. All right, now that up here, so it'll stay nice and warm. A little bit, not to start getting caramelized. And I'll pour it in a bowl and I'll put it up there in the warming ovens also. Ham smells delightful. Now, let's see, I've got a little more heat in the oven back here. We're going to have a very elaborate Christmas lunch. We're by ourselves, home alone. bit more Himalayan salt in there. You need a little iodine. They put iodine in salt because people don't have enough iodine in their diet. But if you eat like shrimp and things, and maybe some seaweed, you'll get that. Or you can get iodine supplements also. So you don't have to use that bleached salt. Caramelize here pretty soon. It's almost popping like popcorn. I'll go bring a dish to put that in from the other kitchen there. And we've got plenty of room to put our things up there. It's warm in there. About 175 degrees in the warming oven. When we need this, it'll be there. Well, the way this side of the stove is cooler over here. No fire is going in that, but it is warm. And a water tank usually goes down in there. I'm just using this for storage though. The water tank comes down, and this one had a spigot on it also. But we got hot water right there. We got hot water running. Over here to the right will be a sink when I get this finished. Still working on it. Now it's beginning to caramelize. These little fans are convection fans. They don't run off electricity or battery or anything else. Just the heat causes them to circulate the heat off the top of the stove, which is nice. Another piece or two of wood in there. the way, if you're using a wood burning cook stove and you need parts for it, you can get somebody to loan you something off the stove. You can send it back to the Tomahawk foundry, and they will reform it. Even if your oven got splits and everything else, just put it together as good as you can. Send it back to them. This has got a cast iron oven in it. You can't do that with sheet metal, but with cast iron you can send it back to them, and they will make you another part. I've had them do plate caps. Even the lifter here, it's a Kalamazoo lifter. And I sent one of these, I don't know which one's the original and which one isn't. I sent these back to the Tomahawk foundry, and they made, I think I've had about 6 of them made. I probably ought to make a bunch more of them and put them on the website or someplace and sell them to people that need them. And here is a poker that I made. I made it out of a piece of rebar. You can even lift the lift cap with that. And I use a limb off of a birch tree here for that. Well, the corn looks like it's caramelized nicely. So we'll take that and pour it in a dish. I have some coleslaw made and some other salad. We'll put this, we'll throw that in the sink and wash it. The handle slip. Get my tasting fork out here. Just right. And there for further use. All right. Ham is still cooking. One piece of kernel of corn down here. By the way, here is a shaker. A lot of people think that the the grates in this thing, some of them are flat with nothing, no holes in it, and the other one have holes in it. And people say, well, the one with no holes in it is for coal, the other one with holes in it is for wood. Not true at all. It's just for shaking it down. The shaker shakes it down right there. I'm just barely going to shake it tiny bit there, like that, not a lot. It goes down into the ash drawer, and there's the cover, or the door for the ash door. Here is another lifter. This one is Kalamazoo, as you can see there on it. It says Kalamazoo, and they're hard to find. This here, you can leave it on the stove, and it's warm, but it won't be blazing hot like leaving that one on, because it's got a little airspace in it. I like this one. It's more positive than this one. They made a lot of those in the old days. Here's another one that was given to me by Matey and Homer Maddox, friends of mine, a long time ago. Same thing. It'll get pretty hot if you leave it on there. Another lifter. If you want to put something on the stove that you don't want real hot, you can lay something like this down, and it'll keep it from burning on the bottom. This here is for putting a pot down in there. You can see that one has got a little insert that comes out. That's where you put a coffee pot or a pot of some size in there. You want it to be hotter. Here, a lot of times there is one that's got grates in it. I'll show that to you. Maybe. I have one in here. Oh, here's another one that you can put on top to keep coffee warm or whatever. You boil of coffee, and then you put this on there. This fits right down in there. You turn this and it pops up just a little bit. Comes up. And so that will keep your bean from burning or whatever. Turn and register. To simmer. See? Getting some black off of there. Here's another one of those, this one I know is a copy, right there, of the original Kalamazoo lifter. Now I'll go wash some of this soot off my hands. Going nicely. The oven is nice and warm, about 300 degrees. The thermometer on the front of this is off because it's on the side of the oven that doesn't have any fire on it. So inside it's hotter. And I also have another thermometer in there, just like I have a thermometer up here. But when you go back toward the back of the oven, it's going to be much warmer back there. You usually put things back so they will get hotter back there. The ham's coming along fine. Every time I open the door, all that good smell comes out. The humidity up here is like 8% or something like that. Sometimes even less. But today, because we're cooking in here on the wood stove, we got this out here. By the way, I'll just let that squeal just a little bit here for a little bit. But it gets good and warm. But today it's 45% humidity in this room. But we're cooking all of the things we're cooking. I'll let that go on. It's pretty cold here this morning. We don't have any ice on the ground or snow on the ground, but it's in the 30s. Still only 35 degrees outside. Beginning to boil into steam. A piece of very hard eucalyptus there. Now it's boiling hotly. It'll start whistling here pretty soon. It was already boiling. It's getting hotter. It may be whistling, but I can't hear very well. Now I know it's whistling. That means the stove's hot. Very hot. Well, we know that water in there is boiling hot. It'll be quite a while before the ham is finished, so I'll try to turn the camera off and turn it back on when I get ready to take it out. It smells very good. Too bad you can't smell what it smells like there. It's got cloves on it, and I couldn't find any pineapple rings, but I put pineapple chunks on it and cherries, maraschino cherries. You can see how hot the top of the oven is. It's really, or the stove over there is very hot. You can put a lot of stuff on this. This stove is 48 inches wide. It's the Kalamazoo President. The Kalamazoo Liberty model is 48 inches also, but the only difference between that one and this one has all the same things, except it has a door latch on it that keeps it from falling all the way down. That's over in the corner. And of course the top plate here comes all the way up, so you can put wood in there if you want to. The other models don't do that. But the Liberty model has a sheet metal oven in it. It's got cast iron up and over the top of it, but this one here is all cast iron. But you had better keep your fireplace liners in these, or you will burn your ovens up and everything else. If you don't have a fireplace liner, you can't get one, then use fire bricks in it. If you look down here, that's the fireplace liner. That's all the way over. The only place that doesn't have a liner is the top here, this top part, but down on the bottom it does. And the back and the front have liners in them. Make sure your stove has that, or make one for it, so you don't burn your stove up. Once you burn the stove up, it's done. This one here, they broke the door on the oven in shipment. Had to re-weld that. And you see the chips in the porcelain. There are places where you can have that done. If you join the TASA, the Antique Stove Association, you can find parts, and of course the Tomahawk Foundry there is in Michigan, or Wisconsin that is, and you can see their advertisements. Just look up the Tomahawk Foundry, and you will, if you need parts made or whatever, you can get that done. We'll shut this off now for a while. I was hoping that we would, the quail would come up. We have about 200 resident California quail here. But the California quail don't say California, they say Ohio, Ohio, Ohio. Like that, they're saying Ohio all the time in their little bird talk. But they're not out there yet. It'll probably warm up and they'll come looking for me to feed them. So I'll try to take a video of that while I'm calling them, and they'll come running. We've got a couple of wild horse stallions out here to the north of us today. Two Mustang stallions, they run together. The other tougher stallion ran them off, so they'll stay together. They probably would mates a young stallion from the same herd. Got one old stallion up here that's all beat up. He got part of an ear gone and scars all over him. He's called Lonesome Bill. And he's been by himself for a long time. He's well up in his 20s. It's wonder a mountain lion or wolf or something hadn't caught him. But he runs by himself. Many of the horses up here get killed on the highway, especially the young ones. Well, that's all for now. And we'll come back later. We're refueling our fire a little bit. Now, this is one of the ways that you can put wood in it. And this is wood scraps from the wood splitter. A small piece of wood, so it'll make a hotter fire. Let it get going a little bit. You know, the stove is hot as long as that fan keeps twirling. You always use smaller pieces of wood when you're cooking. About an hour since I put any more wood in here. Get the flames going. A few matches in there. Keep going. Flames flaming again. There it's going. You can see the flames coming up there. Get our little spices out of the way. Put them over the dining table. See if the I'm gonna go see if the quail are out there. I'm gonna take a video of them. They call them now. Okay, working. Now the ham is coming along. It smells very good. Here again is our warming ovens. Still about 150 degrees in there. This again is our apple and cherry filling. This is the mashed potatoes, and they're nice and warm. And our fried corn is there. And I made some coleslaw and other things also. I'm going to go out and see if the quail are here yet this morning to come to eat. And I'll maybe show you them also. Oh boy. Well, some of the quail are out there. The biggest bunch of them aren't, but some are. Well, the food is cooking right along here. Almost lunchtime. Now I've got a little secret here, and this works very well. When you want to build the fire up pretty fast, this is a little rigid blower. It blows softly or hard. And you got a blower up here that that's like a forge in there. You want to blow it too hard, that fire will be out on top of you. Now we got our fire down. Nice. With our little blower. Battery powered bellows. Here's the old style bellows right here. It blows also. Not as consistent as our more modern invention. Fire is beginning. Let it get down a little bit. Oh, we have to build it back up again. Keep the ham cooking. Now, if our camera will cooperate here, I'm going to go out here and try to show the quail to you. Hopefully. Down there is Marilyn at the dining table. And now we are back here looking at the stove again. I don't know how much you got of the quail out there because the camera quit. I have to buy a new battery for it. Looks like this fire is going again. We'll get the ham out of there. We'll see if the camera's still working. Evidently it is. Put this over there out of the way. Ham smells wonderful. There it is. And we'll have our mashed potatoes and our ham, coleslaw, the apple and cherry filling for dessert, fried corn. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe. I hope that these wood burning cook stove little tutorials are helping you. Thank you very much.